Welcome back, guys. I hope you're all doing well. I was thinking about it, and after starting this program, which we can best call the preparation, after doing this for a decent amount of time, I've realized how important time is. So, just before August of this year, when I guess I kind of started it in mid July. We'll just say August. Before August, I was doing what most of us young men do today, which is just float around and kind of waste time, have nothing to do, have no skills to learn. So, I was just watching YouTube or maybe sometimes playing video games and just kind of like every day would pass. I didn't, and it wasn't of value to me. I didn't place any value in a day. Whereas now, I place a lot more value on an hour of time. It's much more valuable and important to me. But that's how most of us young men are today, is that and I think this is mostly because we've been so disconnected from the real world, we don't have to really do very much. At least we don't think we have to, because we're told to delay, 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 and eventually get through college, whether that's 4 years or maybe 6 years or more, with the hope of, a degree which would get you a good job. But delay, 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 delay working, delay trying at anything until you absolutely have to. And I think this even goes with trade school. All of these ideas of needing to be schooled about something before you can actually get into it and actually work. This idea that we need a certificate of completion of a certain thing to really begin to work. I get that in some areas it's good to have that. Like I went through an EMT school, and I think that is an example of an area where you should have gone through the school, and the school should say yes. Uh, Maxim can now Maxim now has the skills that we taught him, and he is competent enough to have passed his class and begin work as an EMT. That's important for that type of class, but even as I've thought more and more about it, the concept of trade schools I think is silly. And it's because the men who built the Empire State Building probably did not go through a trade school. Now, all these ugly, disgusting buildings, which I know it's not, these buildings aren't just designed by trade schools, but like these gross buildings we have now are built in a way which is meant not for uh, durability or beauty, but just for some quick money. Um, and I get that's not actually the people building them; it's the architects, the designers of everything, building these things, are coming up with the ideas of these things, of these buildings. But again, there's this big separation. Like in the time of Thomas Jefferson or Thomas Edison, uh, like as a young man, you just started work. Even if it was a dangerous field, you could get into that line of work as long as you were useful and prove that you were useful by doing the work. But instead, there's this incredible separation where we don't even see the real world until we get to the real world and we have no idea what to do. Um, and I think trade school is just another example of that. While that can be good, and it's, of course, a great thing to learn those skills, I think the concept of going to a school for those things, instead of just doing some work with some people who have spent their entire life doing the work, that's the best option, not these schools. Anyway, we waste so much of our time as young men. We do. Like, every day we waste time. And it's hard to get to the point to where you can properly utilize your time because at least for me, even a couple months ago, I had no idea what to focus on. I had no idea what to do. So I needed these ideas brought to me. These ideas of, well, the future exists, and you're going to confront the future. Would you rather be prepared or not be prepared? You want to be prepared? Okay. Here's, and this is what I started with, here's a set of games, activities, and occupations that you can dive into and become competent at slowly over time. And that's where I started the EMT class that I went through. That's where I started learning how to play chess. That's where I started practicing some Spanish every day, as well as several other things. But that that had to be, I could only get to the point where I was doing those things once I realized how much time I was wasting and how time is running out for us young men. I just turned 18 a couple months ago, but time goes by very fast. Very fast. And I wish I could have started this preparation program at 16 because I know I would have been so far ahead by now. But the important is we have to realize how much time we're wasting. And, if you're a parent or a grandparent, helping your children or grandchildren understand that time is important and that we don't just get to flounder around until we get out of college and maybe get a job from the degree we got, you know? So, some examples of great men that I like to bring up pretty frequently, especially in my articles on Substack. I've probably brought it up maybe 4 to 5 times now, but when Thomas Jefferson was around 13, when both of his parents were dead, he was running a 2,500 acre farm with 250 employees. I mean, that that one example alone is insane. This was, of course, he had to, because both of his parents were dead. He didn't have that safety net like the rest of us do, or most of us do. Or Thomas Edison, when he was around the same age, he started his own newspaper business and he would get the Civil War news before everyone else because he had access to uh, the telegrams. And so he would go to the office, get the war news, and he would sell his newspapers to people on going on the long distance trains from the Upper Peninsula of Michigan to the Lower Peninsula, and he would make a quarter to uh, a dime to a quarter, I believe, uh, on each newspaper, and sometimes he would sell around 1,000 copies per stop, or per day. I mean, making what most adult working men would make in a few months. So, I mean, that's another great example. The first admiral, it's hard to say that word, admiral of the United States, uh, his name was Admiral Dewey, and when he was around 12 years old, he captured a British warship during the War of 1812. I think it was around 1815, around that time. So during the War of 1812, he captured a British warship near Peru and sailed it back to Boston. And he captained that warship when he was that old. George Washington didn't go to school until he was around 11. 11 or 13, I can't remember exactly, but the first subject he studied was trigonometry. And then he later became a surveyor for Culpeper County, Virginia. So all these examples of great men using their time is perfect for us young men to realize that our time is constantly depleting and we need to use it effectively. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Just want to make a quick video today and start pushing out some new videos more frequently. But if you want to go check out the Substack, it'll be in the description of this video, and it should be on the main page of my YouTube channel. But let me know if you guys have any questions about the preparation program, or just about anything I mentioned in this video. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys next time.